Guys, see if we can see what's going on here. Okay, guys, welcome to this episode of Sin Cigars. Tell me if you can see me here. A thumbs up, maybe. Just gonna go ahead and try to start just to see if we're showing up here. Okay. So today we'll be going over. Actually, we just did a quick little start video. And this is the Macanudo Inspirado, and this is the Nicaraguan one, and this is the Toro side. Just give you a quick overview. We did a punch cut on this guy. Tell me what you think of the lighting. I think we may be a little foggy here. Beautiful, absolutely wonderful ash for me. One of my favorite mugs. I have a couple of these different mugs. Looks like we're getting a bit of a glare here. Okay. From the beginning, there's a hint of spice on this. Very rich. Like I said, you're getting hit in the face with the leather. You're getting something a little special. I can't quite put my finger onto it, but it stayed exactly the same since I lit it. An amazing startup to the light. But it does look like we're getting a bit of a glare here. I'm not sure if it's coming off my lighting source. But unlike the other cigars, I think this is the strongest one so far. It's very bold. I think a lot of what I'm tasting is the intensity of the tobacco in this one. It's bold. Strength is there. I'd say this is a full-bodied cigar. The wrapper is absolutely beautiful. I love the color. Nice and veiny. Very robust looking. It reminds me a lot of the broadleaf. Very robust. Very strong. Very interesting. It's definitely not one of those laid-back cigars. I would not recommend this for the morning. But a lovely coffee. Can you guys read that? Can you give me a thumbs up? Anybody want to tell me what the coffee mug says? I can't even tell if you guys can read that. This is what I like to start my day. And we haven't managed to set up the table yet, but we're doing that next. The only problem is, as you can tell, my mustache is getting a little long, so I'm getting that coffee drip onto the bottom side of my cigar. We did a punch cut, as you can tell. I think that was the best idea for a cigar this strong. If I did a straight cut, it might be a little bit too much. Great draw, good construction. I believe this is a mixture of like Nicaraguan and Honduran tobacco put together, with fillers or what have you. Very enjoyable. This is right up my alley. Like, this is the kind of cigar that I enjoy. Can I get a thumbs up? Anybody there? Like, subscribe, say hi. Tell me where you watching from. We're going to play a game of Watch Your Ash. So you guys let me know when you see the ash fall. Hi to you, Jolie. Jaden, sorry. Hi to you as well. Glad you're watching. Hope you're enjoying it. 1 second here. Put this back to full screen. And like I said, we're still working at the bugs. I don't know if this is being delayed for myself. I'm having trouble seeing it live. Is that good? Yes, it is. Hi, Small. Thank you very much. Let me know what you guys think. I can't tell sometimes with the way I've got my setup here. And it's kind of off to the side, so I can't see my setup while I'm doing it. Any pointers would be awesome. Let me know. So we have Jaden and Small. Thanks, guys. What's your favorite cigar? Where are you watching from? Do you like the mug? Can you tell me what the mug says? One more try. We don't have the audio set up. I have another microphone we're going to be setting up. So you guys got to tell me if that's going to work. That's the new basic setup we're trying. Hi, I'm from Brazil. Well, just so you know, we're from Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada here. So I think Brazil is the farthest away so far that we've had anyone. And that's Lutz and Anatoly Smuts. Oh, way to go, Jaden. Thank you for liking my mug. It was a gift. It was a Christmas gift. I enjoy that sort of thing. And I have another different one that says, I may be an asshole, but at least I'm your asshole. That's probably my second favorite mug that I own. What do you guys enjoy? I enjoy smoking cigars. I enjoy having the coffee. Like I said, we're located in Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada. Very small province, a small community as well. That's what I like to do in my spare time. And this Nicaraguan cigar is not disappointing at all. It's bold, it's powerful. But the only thing is, like, this is a more than medium size cigar. Strength, I should say. So I made sure I had my supper first. I kind of knew what I was getting into. Nicaraguan tobacco. I believe it's a Honduran mix in here as well. So I like to make sure you have a full stomach. You're not just smoking one of these cigars on an empty stomach. I think it would be a bit much. And Jaden, where are you saying hi from? Oh, I like my background. A couple of my cigar boxes that I bought here. We just did a video, so we're going to be doing a live like twice a week now. I have a full set of these, plus I just had a brand new set of, so I have my monthly subscription box I'm going to be open, so that's going to be 5 to 6 awesome cigars picked by Cigar Chief. It's one of my favorite things to do is open them up, and then I like surprises. So of all the monthly subscription box, I think it's Canada's #1. Now, all of these were part of a sample pack. So I like buying sample packs just for the variety. So you get to try one, and then you get to try the entire spectrum. See what's coming. And oh my God. So see how long we've been in there now. Right now we are in at about, what does it show how long we've been in there? 7, 8 minutes. So we're probably looking at a 45 to 50 minute cigar here. And we're playing a game called Watch Your Ash. So you guys let me know. First one, give me a thumbs up and say, I saw your ash fall, or you were watching my ash. Because when I first started, it was like, how long did you smoke a cigar before the ash falls off? As we all know, Churchill was famously for putting a paper clip the length of a cigar, and he would smoke them, so you'd have a cigar that was like 3/4 ash, and it wouldn't fall off. So in a regular smoke, how long do you think, do we have a recommendation? How long do you think I'm going to be able to smoke this puppy before I lose the ash? Rich smoke. Getting the spices coming as being a bit more spice forward now. Leathery. I wouldn't go so far as creamy as bold. So there's a lot of flavor. And look at that beautiful ash. We'll take a quick look at it here. But you can definitely feel the strength of the cigar. You can feel it. Like I said, I would not recommend this for a morning cigar. Evening cigar after a nice meal like I just had. I think it's a fantastic way to spend your evening. We're just getting over a large snowstorm that we had. We're getting ready to have another large snowstorm. I'm not wearing one of my merch Sin Cigar t-shirts tonight. We're looking at to get some more made. If anybody's interested, we're going to be doing maybe a giveaway when I opens up, I think the beginning of next month or the end of this month. We're going to be smoking like a Cuban cigar. I think we're going to be opening up a nice bottle of either Wild Turkey 101, Velvini, Glenfiddich, something like that. And we're actually going to be doing a giveaway. So if anyone's interested, keep an eye out for our lives. And what we're going to be doing is giving away a t-shirt, maybe some kind of a cigar cutter or something like that. Try to mail it to someone. So if you guys are interested, give me a thumbs up and saying, hey, we're going to have like a, well, I guess the easiest way to do is smoke it till the ash falls off. Get a nice expensive Cuban cigar and smoke that puppy till the ash falls off. And then the first person who lets us know, hey, definitely the ash fell off, I saw it first, then that person's going to get mail to them. And that's going to be a t-shirt when we get your size with the Sin cigars. And probably a cigar cutter. I don't know what sending cigars internationally would be. And if that's something you guys are interested in, let me know. Right now we're about 10 minutes in. And the ash is absolutely fantastic. Like, look at that. Oh, yeah. That's enjoyable. I think my camera's dirty. It's not a glare at all. You guys think my camera's dirty? It looks like I thought it was lens flare or something, but I think I just maybe got my lens dirty. Bold. Very bold. And Mrs. Sherelle, smoking? No smoking? Now, do you consider cigars smoking? I see you have the smoking and no smoking. My question to you is it still considered smoking if you don't inhale? I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke anything that you would inhale. So would this still be as bad as something that you inhale, say a cigarette? Once again, I'll show you that fantastic mug. What an amazing coffee I got there. But you could definitely see. Oh yeah, the glare is coming terrible on that. So we're going to have to double check that for next time. Oh. Wait a second here. Let's try to scoot this forward. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I did it wrong altogether. Try this again. Oh, do you suppose to inhale a cigar? No. See, the way a cigar works, you don't inhale a cigar. You actually do get some nicotine from it, but that's absorbed through your mouth. So basically what you're doing is you're enjoying the tobacco flavor without any of the inhaling and all the detrimental effects that it would have on your lungs. I'm a construction worker, so I work outside, shoveling and pickaxe and what have you. And if I smoked cigarettes, it would be quite difficult. It's very detrimental to your health. And you smoke like a pack a day, some people. I smoke a cigar every couple of days. Enjoy the flavor. Look at that. Isn't that another beautiful ash? So you don't inhale it. I don't think it's as detrimental. As cells are good for you, no. But compared to smoking a cigarette, I think it's extremely better. Personally, this is not medical advice by any stretch of the imagination, but it's something you do for enjoyment rather than for a habit. Oh my Lord, that's absolutely wonderful. So we're about 15 minutes in, and the ash hasn't fell off yet. So keep your eyes out. Let me know, guys. Watch your ash, as they say. All okay. Thanks for the explanation. Not at all. For me, cigars were something that I don't like inhaling. I don't like cigarettes. I did smoke when I was younger, and I gave it up because it's just not worth it on your health. For me personally, it was just something that I enjoyed the flavor. I enjoyed the relaxation of it because it's one of the few things you get to sit down for an hour, relax. What do you think? Look at that. Is cigars very expensive? Was it's awful to visit it. Cigars in themselves aren't inherently expensive, not at all. This cigar, I think was, I think the MSRP on this one was like $9, in $9 to $10. Compared to smoking a pack a day, you only smoke one of these every 2 or 3 days. So it's economical. And the range is the gambit. So I have a monthly subscription where you pay a fixed price, I believe it's like $110, $115, and they'll send you 5 or 6 cigars. So you get one expensive cigar, two medium cigars, and a lower tier cigar. So you get to taste the difference. So you get $50 to $100 per stick. Not something that I personally smoke or could afford. But I like the variety. Something that I enjoy. So rather than spend say $20 a day in cigarettes, you spend $10 once every 4 days in a cigar. I think it's pretty economical. And Miss, what's that? Miss Sherelle, where are you messaging from? That is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Held together nicely. We got an even burn. Look at that. That's wonderful. Oh, from the USA. And which part of the USA? Because obviously I'm from Canada, so our taxes on stuff like alcohol and nicotine products are astronomical. I would say this particular cigar that I paid, say, $9 for, in the US would be at $4 to $5 stick, so double price. And that's what they call a not a luxury tax or a sin tax. Funny because Sin Cigars is the name of my channel, but they tax anything that will be considered a vice. So that would be cigarettes, tobacco products, alcohol, anything like that. It's astronomical prices were charged in Canada. South Texas, that's awesome. My niece just went to Texas, just outside of Austin, not long ago to visit some friends. My niece Sasha went down there. She loved Texas. She said it was absolutely amazing. So she only got back, I suppose 6 months ago, and she absolutely adored it. We're from a small province, so it was actually quite cold here all the time. The heat was a lot to get used to, but she adored Texas, and she's looking forward to going back again. And yes, I am from Canada. I'm actually from, it's not a state, it's a province. I'm from Newfoundland and Labrador. It's one of the Atlantic provinces. And we are like as far west as you can get. We're actually one of the few places that have a 30-minute time zone difference. So from the next province over, there's a 30-minute time zone. So if it's 12, we're half an hour ahead, so it'll be 12:30. We have a 30-minute time zone difference. Have you ever heard of a 30-minute time zone change before? Most people haven't. I'm really impressed by this. Honduran and Nicaraguan tobacco combined. Mmm. Mmm. It just happened. What's the time on this? So we were 18 minutes in. The ash fell off. Did anyone see that? Give me a thumbs up if anyone saw it. So in today's game of Tell the Ash, watch your ash, sorry. We're in about 18 minutes. I just made a mess over everything. This is the cigar. We're going to clean this up in a minute. So we got about to the 20-minute mark. Like I said, I seem to be getting a bit of a delay here. So you tell me about what minute you guys are watching that we saw it. So for our giveaway next month that we're going to be doing, this is the game we're going to play. It's called Watch Your Ash. So the first person to say watch your ash when it falls is going to be, we're going to do a Sin Cigar t-shirt and maybe like a cigar cutter, maybe a V cutter, maybe we'll do like a punch cutter, and we'll mail that off with a Sin Cigars t-shirt just to say thanks for watching, paying attention more than anything. We appreciate it. So in this case, Miss Sherelle, thank you very much for watching. We saw it. And that was pretty good. 20 minutes in, you say something about that long? And we're just getting past the first third, so I'm going to give you a little update on the first third. The boldness stayed through. Strength is definitely there. What I'd say, the spice kind of crept up on me a little bit. The leather is still just smack you right in the face. You get that bold, almost like horseback riding. You know what I mean? They got that smell of a saddle. Does that make any sense? Strong, even burn, but it is not for the faint of heart. This is something a lot. I'd say definitely more than medium plus. A full bodied, but it's also full flavor. So it's not just strength, it's flavor as well. Oh, I like. I was smoking cigars. 8 years, something like that. Something like that. But like I said, it's just a part-time thing. Something I do as a hobby. Pass away by the time. Something to enjoy. But there's been bouts where you go 6 months without a cigar. The place that we're particularly in is so small that to get to buy a cigar, like a decent cigar, is over a 2 hour drive. So 200, 250 kilometers away to get to the nearest store to buy a cigar. So it's not something that's readily available in my community. So it's definitely a lot of work. Hmm. So, and does a cigar contain nicotine? Yes, they do. Now, every cigar is different. This is Nicaraguan and Honduran tobacco put together. There's an old saying, the darker the wrapper, the more nicotine. Not always 100% true. A lot of cases it is just the type. Like if you get a Connecticut or a Connecticut shade wrapper, a very light wrapper, they're not all light, but there's usually less nicotine in the Connecticut shade wrapper. But I have smoked a couple of very light cigars that were just almost overwhelming. And it's a lot to handle. And depends what you're doing. If you're having a coffee, I find with a dark cigar is really good as well. In the mornings, I would never smoke anything stronger than a Connecticut, personally. And I actually have a lot of cigarillos. I was going to do an unboxing video. Many cigars, so you get like 10. So these Trinidadian ones here. These are Habanos, Trinidadians. Now I have many cigars like this. It's like 10 in a box, and they're like many Trinidadian cigars. So you get the same tobacco flavor, the same flavors, and a smaller format. So you're getting a tenth of the tobacco. It's just basically you get the flavors. You don't get the big nicotine burst, but it's the exact same tobaccos. Oh yeah, it does burn slowly. Now, the more you puff, obviously, the faster it's going to burn. But for me personally, the rule of thumb is uh, from a Corona size is usually about 45 minutes. When you start getting to like a Robusto size, but this is Toros, this is quite a bit larger. Once you get to that 5 to 6 inch mark, you're looking at an hour and 20 minutes. I think the longest I've ever had was a Churchill. I smoked a Churchill on my last live, I believe, hour and 30 minutes. But that was a lighter style tobacco, but a longer format. And this is the Turo size. So they do burn slowly, and on them, if you get too much nicotine, I take them. You can take a cigar and set them down. Oh, you like the mug, or you think that's a little too obscene? What do you think? Are they safer than cigarettes? I don't think any tobacco is safe. No tobacco is safe. Any tobacco product that you there's no such thing as a safe tobacco product. Whether you're talking about a vape, whether you're talking about a cigarette, a cigar, smoking pipe tobacco. No tobacco is safe. And I don't think anyone in the cigar community will say, hey, this is safe, because a tobacco product isn't. You're basically smoking a leaf. That being said, is it better than chewing tobacco? I would think so. Is it you're not inhaling it. I think the damage that it does with lung emphysema, lung disease from inhaling a cigarette is quite dangerous. So there's no such thing as better. It's all dangerous. It's personal preference. But me, like I said, there's no such thing as safe. And I don't believe anyone under the legal age should be allowed to touch tobacco products. And I think once you're a responsible adult and you make the, like I did, said, hey, I enjoy a cigar. I enjoy the flavors. You should be allowed. Pay double taxes on it in our country. So the taxes go for good reason. It is an enjoyable product, but is it safe? No, I don't think any tobacco product is safe at all. Mm. I don't think vapes are safe. Chewing tobacco, I don't think anything is. Now, that being said, do you guys think that nicotine gum is dangerous? Why do I get it yet? Well, it's not just relaxing. I say I work construction, usually long hours, difficult conditions. It's an excuse to sit down for an hour and just relax and enjoy on one thing. And they say nicotine is relaxing. I don't really know if that's true, but I definitely enjoy it. Just take time out of your day to do something to focus on. And I enjoy the flavors. My favorite part is I don't smoke the same cigar over and over. I'm not one of those people. Like cigarette smokers, they're like, I like one kind of cigarette, and I'll smoke one kind of cigarette. Whereas me, I'm like, hey, I want to try Hunter, and I want to try Nicaraguan, I want to try Cuban, Chile. I've tried so many different ones that I've got to experience a lot of different tobacco, and I think that's the most enjoyable part for me. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, so it relaxes you. I'm not really sure if that's true. I enjoy the excuse of sitting there for an hour. I've got all my chores done for the day. My supper is done. I'm relaxed. Some me time, as they say. Look at that beautiful burn, nice and even. Now, some people say nicotine is actually a stimulant, neural stimulant. Is good for the mind. I do find some days, now if I'm out cutting wood or I'm out feeding the chickens or something like that, what I like to do at the end of the day after feeding the chickens and cutting some wood or whatever is I'll sit down and I actually have a pipe that was my grandfather's from like the 1920s. And I'll fill that thing full and I'll sit down and I'll have a few puffs of that after a long day of hard work and feeding the ducks and chickens. And I find that super relaxing, even more so than a cigar. Uh, I don't smoke enough cigars to get withdrawal symptoms. It's not like cigarettes. It's not like something you smoke 20 times in a day or vape. 20, you know, maybe you're sitting there, you're vaping all day. You go 3 or 4 hours without it, and there's withdrawal symptoms from vapes, withdrawal symptoms from cigarettes. Twice a week, there's no withdrawal symptoms. You do get nicotine, there's no doubt. But I personally don't get withdrawal symptoms. I don't know if other people does. I can only go from my own personal experience. But like I say, especially you work hard, it's a chance to sit down and relax. That's why I smoke, like I said, I smoke pipe tobacco as well. That's usually like after I worked a long day. An evening, sitting in by the fire in the summertime after a long day. Now that's enjoyable. That is, I think, where more of the relaxation comes in. Now, if you were to sit down and smoke 10, what's that, George Burns? He used to smoke like 10 cigars a day, I believe. You remember him? Remember George Burns? I think he smoked like 10 cigars a day. I think that would give you withdrawal symptoms with that amount of nicotine. Yeah, that would definitely cause withdrawal symptoms. But, like I say, no part of this is safe. I don't think anyone under legal age should be allowed to touch this. I'm glad that it's regulated. I'm glad that people don't get the opportunity to. I don't think you should be allowed. But if you're of legal age, it's like gambling. Like when I went to Vegas, you're allowed to do it. You're confined to gambling in a certain establishment. You know, you follow all the rules and regulations. I don't see nothing wrong with it. But should be legal age to do so. Oh my, now, as we're getting into the second third, what I'm noticing now is we're still very consistent in the flavor, but the leatheriness is coming through. The spice is staying nice and even. It's not hitting you in the back of the throat or anything like that, but super enjoyable. The draw is really open up nice, and as you can tell, my band's starting to move a little bit. So I think I may be smoking a little bit fast. I'm not getting any heat through the cigar, but my band has loosened up. And this is the thing in Newfoundland. You can tell me if anyone from the States or any other country. A lot of times they have like a lot of really cool bands and names and kind of like that. In Canada, we have a lot of this plain packaging. Is that something you agree with? Plain packaging on your cigars. How long have you been doing construction work? It must be a tough and tedious job. Oh, since I was young. Love construction work. I get to help my community, get to build things, snow clearing. I was driving Zamboni quite a bit this last year, being a Zamboni operator for the community and helping out with the ice rink. That was super freaking awesome. Love giving back to the community is one of the best parts about construction. You're building the roads, you're building the infrastructure. A couple of years ago, we had a very large storm come through. So I was actually involved with the fire department as well. So we did the cleanup, rescue help. I was actually president of the Lions Club at the time. So what we did was we were a warming center. So we got to take everyone out of the homes when there was an emergency. I got to go back and help the infrastructure of the town. Whether you're driving equipment or moving sandbags, just to give back to the community, and I'm very lucky in that regard. And a lot of construction workers are hands-on, so to speak. I think that's the best part about construction is the feeling of you got to complete what you started. Tough? Oh, of course. Weather-wise, probably the hardest part about it. You ask amazing questions, by the way. I'm going to say thanks for the questions. Hopefully I'm being entertaining for you. Like I said, just sitting in my little studio I'm sitting up here is not quite set up yet, but it will be. Just sit back and enjoy a cigar. I get to talk to awesome people, which is a nice way to spend a day. But I am going to have to go to work here soon. Getting into the second third. It is a nice way to give back. I'm very lucky to the job that I have with my community. I have a great community, very supportive. In a lot of ways, I get to help out because the community is responsible for me getting paid. To put it in that perspective, by doing the work to help my community, it gives me the life that I live. Pays for my home, pays for my hobbies, pays for my cigar, pays for my mortgage, it pays for my truck payment, it pays for my insurance. But you get to give back on a daily basis. You get to see exactly what you've done in the faces of the people who are your neighbors. If that makes any sense. This is like super enjoyable. We'll do a quick time check here. We are at about 30 minutes, something along those lines. So right now, 30 minutes in, we're about halfway through. So yeah, my estimate at the beginning of about an hour. I think it's going to be pretty accurate for this. But as we get down, I'm noticing a little bit of unevenness in the burn. I think that's just a variation in this particular leaf. And what did you say the band is for? And is that like a filter on a cigarette? I know a filter is asbestos. Maybe I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think on a cigarette, the filter is asbestos, and it's supposed to filter out all of the poison in the cigarettes because a cigar, and correct me if I'm wrong, somebody deceives me if I'm wrong, a cigar is only leaf. It's only The filler, the binder, the wrapper, it's just leaf. It's just a dried and cured leaf, tobacco leaf. Whereas a cigarette has chemicals added and more chemicals added, and then it's shredded, then it has more chemicals, and then there's a filter on the end that supposed to slow down the amount of toxins that you're getting from the cigarette itself. This doesn't have any kind of filter. This just has a hole in it. And the band is basically to put the name on the cigar. It does help. I don't usually remove the band until we get down to it. And a lot of times it is helping hold the cigar together, because as you smoke, the heat travels through the cigar. Sometimes it swells, and if you take the band off early, you actually peel part of your wrapper. I like to wait. Some people say you shouldn't smoke past the band. I don't know if that's true. I don't. I take the band off. If I'm enjoying it, I'll smoke it right down to the end. So there's definitely no filter. A cigar is the only thing that is just leaf. Cigarettes, and I can't imagine what kind of chemicals in a vape. But I do believe chew is just alcohol and ground tobacco leaves. If I'm wrong, someone let me know. Oh my, yeah, that's wonderful. So definitely not like a filter. Have you ever smoked? Even when you were young? Did you ever try a cigarette? Once again, I can see here, see it a little off burn? We're starting to look on an angle here, though. So you can either touch that up, or the next best thing, instead of holding it up wherever your hard part is, you'll just keep that to the lowest point, and as you smoke, that's just straighten out your burn. Now, so you say a cigar is pure leaf and a cigarette is crushed up tobacco with chemicals. Yes. There's added tar, nicotine. That's why they had to put a filter on it, I believe. Like, I don't have a cigarette pack, obviously I don't smoke, but they taste like dog crap. But, pardon the pun, but this leaf just by itself, there's nothing added to it. It's just cured and aged. Just pure leaf. You can actually grow a tobacco plant by yourself in the garden, grow the plant, cut the leaves, dry them and cure them, and just roll them up into like a spaghetti western style cigar. You can just roll the leaf and smoke it, and you will get nicotine from it, but there's no added chemicals, nothing. And not saying this is any better. This is not a bona fide, oh, you should smoke cigars. I don't believe anybody should consume a nicotine product unless they want to. But being a pure leaf, yes. And you can taste the difference. And every region that a tobacco leaf is grown, it imparts a different flavor on the cigar itself. And from country to country, and just from different regions, it's just such a giant variety of it. Now that's something I've never grown my own tobacco leaves, but I don't even know if that would be legal in Canada. So I used to smoke cigarettes, but I quit. I think quitting smoking cigarettes is one of the best things anyone can do. Even though I partake in a cigar, I don't think anyone should smoke any type of tobacco product. If you're obviously if you're not under legal age, obviously, but it's definitely interesting. You don't need a full size cigar. It's just a hobby to pass the time away. Some people like to drink bourbon. Some people enjoy coffee. So I'm a coffee guy. I like a good cup of coffee. I like a nice cigar. I think it's a great pairing. But I don't ever propose that anyone should start smoking. It's not something for the faint of heart. And what people don't tell you about cigar smoke, just like I guess like cigarettes as well when you first started, you could smoke a cigar and you don't know you don't know what your tolerance level will be. Smoke a cigar turn green. Like, this is too much nicotine and throw up. You're obviously not going to die or expire, but there's a lot to it. Now look, this is almost fixed. Like I was smoking it that way. It's almost fixed it. But I think it's a choice that adults should be able to make. Now, we're heavily taxed in Canada, and I think it's for a good cause. Of all the taxes you could pay on any type of, like I said, it's not a sin, it's a vice tax, like on alcohol, I understand. Oh boy, just amazing. So what part of Texas you from? Look at that thing. You could definitely tell that this ash is a lot looser. So whatever we just burned through there was the reason why we had an uneven burn. The ash opened up. Blast this puppy off. And when it comes to cigars, you never doubt them. Like they burn slow. A cigar is one of the few. If you just stop puffing on it and put it down, it will just snub itself out. It will not continue to burn unless you're puffing on it. You light a cigar, put it in the ashtray to burn out. You put a cigar down, it's just going to stop burning. Arlington, Texas. Why is it so why is it so taxed in Canada? Canada's high in taxes for all the alcohols, cigarettes. Well, Canada's one of the highest tax countries in the world. Universal health care, and one of the reasons why our taxes go towards. And I understand when the government does it. Would I like to be able to get my cigars a bit cheaper? Yes. But it is nice to be in a country where you're supposed to take care of the people. The number one thing with universal health care. But Arlington, Texas. So would that be southern Texas? I've heard of Arlington, Texas, but geographically I have no idea where that's to. Oh my gosh. This thing has just been absolutely amazing. But do look at the time here, 1 second. And oh, okay. Now, as much as I've enjoyed this, I can guarantee you it's been a fantastic smoke. Looking at the time here, it's time to go to work. I'm on night shift. So this is why I smoke in the evening after I have my supper. I'll puff of smoke. I'll have another couple of puffs here, but I do have to go to work. So thanks everyone for watching. Really appreciate all the questions. If you have anything to ask, please watch out for my other lives. So I'm going to do another quick video, just doing a recap onto my YouTube channel. So thanks everyone for watching. I really appreciate your help. Any more questions, feel free to ask. I don't mind at all. And time to go to work, guys.